A polar ice cap is a high-latitude region of a planet or natural satellite that is covered in ice. There are no requirements with respect to size or composition for a body of ice to be termed a polar ice cap, nor any geological requirement for it to be over land. Only that it must be a body of solid phase matter in the polar region. This causes the term polar ice cap to be something of a misnomer, as the term ice cap itself is applied with greater scrutiny, as such bodies must be found over land, and possess a surface area of less than 50,000 km². Larger bodies are referred to as ice sheets. The composition of the ice will vary. For example, Earth's polar ice caps are mainly water ice, while Mars's polar ice caps are a mixture of solid-phase carbon dioxide and water ice. Polar ice caps form because high-latitude regions receive less energy in the form of solar radiation from the sun than equatorial regions, resulting in lower surface temperatures. The Earth's polar ice caps have changed dramatically over the last 12,000 years. Seasonal variations of the ice caps takes place due to varied solar energy absorption as the planet or moon revolves around the sun. Additionally, in geologic time scales, the ice caps may grow or shrink due to climate variation. Earth. North Pole. Earth's North Pole is covered by floating pack ice over the Arctic Ocean. Portions of the ice that do not melt seasonally can get very thick, up to 3–4 meters thick over large areas, with ridges up to 20 meters thick. 1 year ice is usually about 1 meter thick. The area covered by sea ice ranges between 9 and 12 million km². In addition, the Greenland ice sheet covers about 1.71 million km² and contains about 2.6 million km³ of ice. When the ice breaks off, it forms icebergs scattered around the northern Atlantic. According to the National Snow and Ice Data Center, since 1979, winter Arctic ice extent has decreased about 4.2% per decade. Both 2008 and 2009 had a minimum Arctic sea ice extent somewhat above that of 2007. At other times of the year, the ice extent is still sometimes near the 1979–2000 average, as in April 2010, by the data from the National Snow and Ice Data Center. South Pole. The land mass of the Earth's South Pole, in Antarctica, is covered by the Antarctic ice sheet. It covers an area of about 14.6 million km² and contains 25–30 million km³ of ice. Around 70% of the fresh water on the Earth is held in this ice sheet. See Climate of Antarctica. Data from the National Snow and Ice Data Center showed that the sea ice coverage of Antarctica has a slightly positive trend over the last 3 decades. Historical cases. Over the past several decades, unregistered trademark S polar ice caps have gained a significant amount of attention due to their alarming decrease in land and sea ice. NASA reports that sea ice in the Arctic has been declining at a rate of 9% per decade for the past 30 years, while Antarctica has been losing land ice mass at a rate of more than 100 cubic kilometers per year since 2002. Due to polar ice caps' current rate of decline, there have been many investigations and discoveries on glacier dynamics and their influence on the world. Unregistered trademark S climate. In the early 1950s, scientists and engineers from the U.S. Army began drilling into polar ice caps for geological insight. These studies resulted in nearly 40 years of research experience and achievements in deep polar ice core drillings and established the fundamental drilling technology for retrieving deep ice cores for climatologic archives. Polar ice caps have been used to not only track current climate patterns, but also patterns over the past several thousand years due to traces of CO2 and CH4 found trapped in the ice. In the past decade, polar ice caps have shown their most rapid decline in size with no true sign of recovery. Josefino Camiso, a senior research scientist at NASA, found that the rate of warming in the Arctic over the last 20 years is 8 times the rate of warming over the last 100 years. In September 2012, sea ice reached its smallest size ever. Journalist John Vidal stated that sea ice is 700,000 square kilometers below the previous minimum of 4.17 m square kilometer set in 2007. In August 2013, Arctic sea ice extent averaged 6.09 m km2, which represents 1.13 million km2 below the 1981 to 2010 average for that month. Mars. In addition to Earth, the planet Mars also has polar ice caps. They consist of primarily water ice with a few percent dust. Frozen carbon dioxide makes up a small permanent portion of the planum australe or the South Polar layered deposits. In both hemispheres are seasonal carbon dioxide frost deposits in the winter and sublimes during the spring. Data collected in 2005 from NASA missions to Mars show that the southern residual ice cap undergoes sublimation interannually. The most widely accepted explanation is that fluctuations in the planet's orbit are causing the changes. See also, cryosphere, ice age, polar climate, polar ice packs, references.